Yes, welcome students. In the last class, we were dealing a bit about terminating decimal and non-terminating decimal, and we have seen how to convert a decimal form into a p by q form and a p by q form into a decimal form. And now today I am going to deal with a topic where without actual division we are going to convert into the decimal form of line. Not all the numbers you can convert without normal division. So I have few examples in front of you. Now we will see, without actually dividing, find out which of the following are terminating decimals and which are non-terminating decimal. Now before I move forward, remember, if there is a number in the form of p by q, and if q is expressed in the form of 2 to the power of m into 5 to the power of n, this q denominator, if you are able to express in the form of 2 to the power of m into 5 to the power of n, where m and n are 0, 1, 2, 3, any numbers, alright. So if you are able to express in this form, then this entire number p by q will always be a terminating decimal. Otherwise, if you are unable to express, that will become a non-terminating decimal. Please remember, q should be only in the form of 2 and 5. Product of 2 and 5. Anything other than 2 and 5 is coming there, you cannot express this in the form of terminating decimal. Please do understand that. So, what is this 3 by 25? Now, 3 by 25 can be written as 3 by 5 square. Right? 3 by 5 square. So, 3 by 5 square means what I am going to do? I am going to multiply 3 by 5 square into 2 square by 2 square. I am going to multiply and divide by 2 square. What is 2 square? 4. 4 3s are 12. Now this is 5 square into 2 square is nothing but 5 into 2 whole square. So it is 12 upon, what is 5 2s are 10, and what is 10 square? 100. So 12 by 100 is nothing but 0.12. So I am able to express 3 by 25 in terms of 5 and 2. Therefore, I will call this as a terminating decimal. Let us take another example. 11 by 18. Now 11 by 18 can be written as, this 18 factors, 2 9s are 3 3s are. So it is 2 to the power of 1 into 3 to the power of 2. In the previous problem, I have multiplied and divided by 2 square and 2 square. So you will say, sir, I will multiply and divide by 5 and 5. No doubt, you will multiply and divide by 5 and 5. 5 2s are will be 10. But what about the 3 square? You cannot remove 3 square. Means this denominator can never be expressed in the form of 2 to the power of m into 5 to the power of m. Since you cannot express the denominator in the form of 2 to the power of m into 5 to the power of n, I will say this entire rational number is a non-terminating decimal. NTD means what? Non-terminating decimal. So like this, these two examples. Now let us take this problem number 3. 13 by 20. 13 by 20. Let me check whether that is a terminating decimal or not. Now how do I write this 13 by 20? It is 13 divided by 20 can be written as 5 into 4. 5 into 4. 4 can be written as what? 2 square. Now you have to balance the power. In order to balance the power, I will again multiply by 5. I will divide by 5. 13 5s is how much? 65. And now 5 into 5 is what? 5 square. And into what do you have? 2 square. So it is 2 into 2 to the power of m into 5 to the power of n form. So it is 65 by 5 2s are 10 whole square. So it is 65 by 10 square is 100. 65 by 100 is nothing but 0.65. So you are able to express in the form of 2 to the power of m into 5 to the power of n. Hence this 13 by 20 is a terminating decimal. Terminating decimal, and its decimal form is 0.65. Now let us take an example. 41 by 42. Now 41 by 42 can be written as 41 by, this 42 can be written as 2 into 21. 21 can be written as 3 into 7. So you cannot express this in the form of 2 to the power of m into 5 to the power of n. You will say, sir, I will multiply and divide by 5. Even though you multiply and divide by 5, it's not a problem. But can you remove 3 and 7? You cannot remove. So this is a non-terminating decimal. So this is a very, very easy, simple method to know whether the given fraction, the given rational number is a terminating decimal or not, and in case it is a terminating decimal, it is a very easy method to determine the decimal form without performing actual division. So I am sure you understood this concept. Now let us move forward and try to represent a rational numbers on a integer line. So please have your pen and paper. Okay. You can note this question: represent root 2 on the integer line. What is root 2? Root 2 is an irrational number. So you have to represent root 2 on the integer line. How do I do? Now I will say draw an integer line. Let this be 0 and you have 1. Do the markings. This is 2. This is 3. And here also you can have -1, you have -2, you have -3, and so on. This is integer line. Now in order to mark root 2, what will I do is I will mark a square called as OA. This is O, this is A, this is B, this is C. I will mark a square with the dimensions 1 unit. I will say mark square OABC with side is equal to 1 unit or 1 centimeter. 1 unit or 1 centimeter. I will take 1 unit. Now this is a side. Now OA is 1. Since it is a square, what is OB? OB is a diagonal. So in triangle OAB, you can see in triangle OAB, we can apply Pythagoras theorem, because what is angle A? Angle A is equal to 90 degrees. Because angle A is equal to 90 degrees, I can apply Pythagoras theorem. I will write OB square is equal to OA square plus AB square. So what is OB square? We have to find. What is OA square? 1 square. Plus what is AB square? 1 square. What is 1 square? 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. OB square is equal to 2. What is OB is equal to root 2. So this length is what? Root 2. Now once you know it is a square and the diagonal length is root 2, I will take a compass and taking the radius, right? Take radius is equal to OB. Draw an arc on integer line taking O as center. So I will take a compass taking O as center. I will draw an arc on the integer line. I can see very clearly between 1 and 2 the arc cuts here. Now this point is called root 2. So I have marked the value of root 2 on the integer line. No doubt I have no idea what root 2 value is, but I am able to successfully mark the value of root 2 on the integer line. So children, this is the way you will handle things, and you will draw or you will mark the irrational numbers on the integer line. In the next class we will deal few more examples, so that how to mark root 3 on the integer line, how to mark root 10 on the integer line. See, all these are what? Irrational numbers. What are irrational numbers? The irrational numbers are nothing but what? Any number which cannot be expressed in the form of P by Q. They are all irrational numbers. So in our next class, we will try to represent root 3 and root 10 on the integer line. So I am sure you understood this. Thank you. Take care and keep practicing. Bye-bye.